Welcome to TakeAnother5, your weekly podcast on a bit of this and a bit of that. Hosted by Donna Jodhan.
Hey there, it's Donna Jodhan, and welcome to our weekly podcast, TakeAnother5. We're happy to have you along with us for yet another week, and we'd like to thank you for all of your feedback and your questions. Well, it's a brand new week, or it's the middle of the week, we would say, and we hope that everyone is doing as well as can be. To start things off, I'd like to tell you a little bit here. My name is Donna Jodhan, as I said, and I live in Toronto, Canada. I'm an author, blogger, writer, editor, entrepreneur, and law student. I enjoy what I do for a living, and I enjoy bringing these podcasts to you every week. To start things off, we have a question for you, and we hope that you're ready for this. What is your favorite holiday time of the year? Is it Thanksgiving, when you get to eat as much turkey as you want? Is it Christmas time, when it is the time of gift giving and gift receiving, holiday making, jolly making, everything making, cooking, baking, everything else? Or is it at Easter time, when things are much more subdued, but you know what, it's a holiday anyway? Or some people would say, well, you know, Valentine's Day is not a holiday, but it's a holiday in itself. Which is it? Which do you prefer? Send us your feedback at info@sterlingcreations.ca and just share your holiday time favorite with us. All right then, time for us to tell you a little bit about TakeAnother5 and what we're all about. There are 5 specific segments to this podcast, and the first is the kitchen corner, where we get cooking and give you all kinds of recipes to help you out. You know, in times of crunch, in emergency times, or you just want to kick back and enjoy cooking. The second segment is called TakeAnother5 with Technology, where we present you with both ends of the spectrum, high-level technology and low-level technology. The third segment is called the 5 Minutes Mystery Moment. The fourth segment is called In the End Zone with the Entrepreneur, where we give you tips for entrepreneurs. And the fifth one is called Staying Ahead of Bullies and Scams. All right then, time to move on, and we want to wrap up this week's mystery for you, or last week's mystery for you, and that mystery was called Diary of a Parisian Priest, where Father Stéphane Pahardy was unceremoniously killed. He had become a very outspoken priest. He was being threatened by certain people. He had come to Paris as a sleeper, as they put it, a Russian sleeper, decided that he didn't like or didn't want to be or didn't want to fulfill his promise to his government to turn from a sleeper into an active agent. So he got into big trouble. He moved to North America, and his past followed him. And for his outspokenness, he was brutally murdered. We hope that you came up with the correct person that killed him, and it's time for us to tell you who did it. Who did it? Pavel Sakharov, the Russian diplomat, did it. He had left his boot prints and monogrammed handkerchief behind. The tag on the boot print, said made in Russia. PS was engraved on the handkerchief, and that stood for Pavel Sakharov. So there you have it. Pavel Sakharov did the deed. He killed the goodly priest, and we hope that you got the killer this week. Now it is time for us to move on to our very first segment, the kitchen corner, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome to my kitchen corner.
Hey, it's Donna Jodhan, and welcome to our kitchen corner, where it's time for us to get cracking and do our cooking. And we'd like to start by thanking our good friend Mama Peach for generously sharing all of the recipes in her library. And we'll tell you, her library is extremely extensive, filled with tons and tons of great recipes from all kinds of categories. So, thank you, Mama, for sharing your recipes with us. And for this week, we have chosen 2 recipes which we hope you would find extremely useful to use at any time of the day, whether you're trying something out that is new, or you're looking for something to help you in a time crunch or time of an emergency. So without much more ado, here we go. Our first recipe for this week comes from the party appetizers category, and is bacon wrapped fingerling potatoes. All right, 1 pound of fingerling potatoes, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of minced fresh thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 pound of bacon slices cut crosswise into halves, 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Now we toss the potatoes with the oil and the thyme and the pepper and the paprika in a large bowl. Wrap half slice of bacon tightly around each potato. Heat large skillet over medium heat. Add the potatoes. Reduce the heat to medium to low, and cook until lightly browned and bacon has tightened around the potatoes. Place potatoes in crock pot, add the broth, cover and cook on high for 3 hours. This makes 4 to 6 servings. I can smell this already. I can even taste it in my imagination. Good enough. Time to move on to our second recipe for this week, and it comes from the 1 dish dinners category. Excuse me. This is bistro chicken in rich cream sauce. 4 skinless, boneless in chicken breast. 4 skinless, boneless chicken breasts, cut in halves, rinsed and patted down 3 pounds in total. Okay, so let me start again. 4 skinless, boneless chicken breasts, cut in halves, rinsed and patted down. And this should be about 3 pounds. Okay? 1/2 cup of dry white wine, 1 tablespoon or 1/2 packet, about 1 ounce of Italian salad dressing and seasoning mix. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 can, about 10 3/4 ounces of condensed cream of chicken soup, undulated, 1 3-ounce package of cream cheese, cut into cubes, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, and this is optional. Coat inside of crock pot with non-stick cooking spray. Arrange chicken in single layers or in a single layer in the bottom, overlapping slightly. Pour 1/4 cup of wine over the chicken. Sprinkle evenly with salad dressing mix and oregano. Cover and cook on low for 5 to 6 hours or on high for 3 hours. Remove chicken to plate with slotted spoon. Whisk soup, cream cheese, salt and pepper into a cooking liquid. Mixture will be a bit lumpy, so don't panic. Arrange chicken on top, cover and cook on high for 15 to 20 minutes or until heated through. Remove chicken to shallow pasta bowl. Add remaining 1/4 cup of wine to the sauce. Whisk until smooth. To serve spoon sauce around the chicken, garnish with parsley. This makes 4 servings. Doesn't this sound great? So you have a party appetizer and you have this lovely chicken cream sauce. Well, if you have any questions or you'd like us to send you a copy of these recipes or any other recipes that we have brought to you over the weeks, please do not hesitate to send us your questions, your feedback, anything to info@sterlingcreations.ca. We hope you enjoy your bacon fingerling potatoes and your chicken and cream sauce. All right, it's time for segment 2, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Time to take another 5 with technology.
Hey, it's Donna Jodhan with you again, and welcome to segment 2 of our weekly podcast, Take Another 5. In this segment, we present you with technology from both sides of the spectrum, or each end of the spectrum. The lower end, which is what we call the lower level technology, and the high end, all of those great apps that you could obtain from the App Store. From the lower end of technology, you'd be surprised to learn what kinds of technology there is to help with all kinds of mundane daily activities. So, without much more ado, let's dive in and see what we got here. Let's start with the higher end of technology, all right? And this is a very fun app for you, available from your favorite app store. And we'd like you to meet the Blindfold Ping Pong app. Yes, you heard us correctly. The Blindfold Ping Pong app. All right, let's meet the Blindfold Ping Pong app. Not too long ago, we were introduced to this nifty little app that works very well on one's iPhone. We believe that it is the same developer who developed this Blindfold Racer app that we told you about not too long ago. This app is free from the App Store and is guaranteed to bring you hours and hours of pure pleasure. The sound is just magnificent. It is easy to use and the voice is very clear. We believe that for blind persons interested in this type of game, the Blindfold Ping Pong app is an ideal way to play the game of tennis, but you just need to remember to hold on tightly to your iPhone when playing. It sure helps to strengthen and improve the hand-ear coordination. So, this app is available, as we said, at the App Store through your iDevice. Now, why not go out there and make friends with this Blindfold Ping Pong app? Lots of fun await you. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the other spectrum, or the other end of the spectrum of technology, and we like to look at this as lower level technology. And for this week, we'd like you to meet the talking thermometer. Yeah, a talking thermometer sure as heck does exist. There used to be a time when dreaming of having a talking thermometer was just that, just a dream. No more. This nifty device has been on the market now for several years, and you can find them as either a standalone unit or folded into other gadgets. Yes, indeed. Again, this is the best of both worlds. The advantage of a standalone unit may be that there are no other add-ons to it. So you just have the standalone unit. But if you have it folded into, another device, that device may also contain an alarm clock, a timer, and other things. Okay? But the advantage of having it as part of another gadget is that you get other things with it. But if that main gadget breaks or stops working, then there goes the thermometer along with it. Almost all talking thermometers will give you the temperature in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. So why not go out there and make friends with the talking thermometer? It will not hurt. And if you'd like to buy one of these talking thermometers, we have two alternatives for you. You can go to either www.maxiaids.com or you can go to www.independentlivingaid.com. MaxiAids is spelled MaxiAids, and Independent Living Aids is one word. Okay? So either of these two online shopping areas will be able to offer you talking thermometers. I hope you enjoy it. Right then, it's time to move on to segment 3 of our podcast, Take Another 5, and we're really moving along this week. So, we'll catch you on the other side. Hey, it's Donna Jodhan, and welcome to segment 3 of Take Another 5, the 5-minute mystery moment. I've been an author, an audio mystery author since 2010, and my audio mysteries have been broadcast across the ACB Internet Radio Network and here in Toronto at Accessible Media Inc. In addition to having our mysteries broadcast across the way, we have also run murder mystery evenings and courts in session evenings here in Canada, in Toronto, in Ottawa, and in Halifax. And you can purchase any of the mysteries that we have brought to you in the past weeks at www.donnajodhan.com, and you just need to go to our online store. You can purchase and download at very, very affordable prices, or you can sign up at a very low fee for the monthly subscription, which will give you unlimited access to our entire library. And this library also contains some very, very interesting, joyful, imaginative Christmas stories available in our 12 Days of Christmas box set. So there's a lot for you to enjoy. But for now, let's dive into this week's mystery, and it's called The Mistaken Identity. All right. Let's go into a description of this mystery. And someone had wanted popular fashion model Jill Hagman dead, and they had planned each step of the crime down to the nth detail. The murder had been committed in Jill's posh condo, but alas, something had gone terribly wrong for the murderer. Now it was too late to turn back the clock. Let's go to the scene of the crime. It was a very posh condo, and all of the lights are on. TV cameras are already there, filming away. And there's a bathroom with a gigantic bathtub. A lifeless body is submerged in soapy water. Soap bubbles surround and cover the body. The body's head is lulled to one side, and strands of long, wet, blonde hair hang loosely across the body's face. A half-empty glass of white wine sits on the edge of the bathtub, and there are some candles still slowly burning. The sweet fragrance of lavender permeates the bathroom, and the young blonde lady is being restrained as she stands at the entrance to the bathroom, and she is crying inconsolably. A young reporter has just whispered, "Well-known model Jill Hagman has been killed." What could the motives have been for this terrible, terrible death? Someone had wanted revenge. Someone had been insanely jealous, and there was someone who wanted payback. Who could the suspects be? Well, there was Mickey Bonneman, the ex-husband who had sworn revenge. Brett Kidman, the manager who had sworn payback. And Zach Neiman, who had sworn revenge because of plain old jealousy. The cause of death? Death occurred due to drowning. There was also alcohol in Jill's bloodstream, but it was not enough to have caused her to drown on her own. Jill Hagman was a popular model, and she had had a messy divorce about 2 years ago. She had recently testified against her ex-husband's company, and he had been convicted of white-collar crime. He was presently out on bail, and his company had gone out of business. He had sworn revenge against Jill. Jill had also had a brief relationship with a man after her divorce, and she had broken up with him because of his insane jealousy. And he had told his friends that if he could not have her, then no one else could. He had begun to stalk her. Jill had also just left her manager to start her own modeling business. She did not like his demanding ways, and her family had helped her to finance her business venture. Well, she and her sister were the main business partners, and her ex-manager had also sworn payback. Jill Hagman was an identical twin. Jade Hagman, her twin, was a fashion designer. Her other sister, Megan, was a medical intern. Her brother, Andre, was a doctor, and both of her parents were doctors. Jade had just moved in with Jill, and Jill had just returned from a trip to find the police and TV cameras in her condo. When she had realized that it was Jade who had been killed, she began to sob uncontrollably. She later told the police that her laptop was missing, along with some photos of herself. They had been taken from her living room. A neighbor had seen a suspicious person fumbling with the lock and watched as the person could not fit the key into the lock. The neighbor had, however, seen this person pick the lock eventually and had called the police. A TV reporter had heard the call on his scanner, had rushed to the scene, and had called for a cameraman from his TV station. These are the facts of this crime, mistaken identity, and we are going to return at the end of the podcast with some more facts to help you solve this mystery. We are confident that you can do it. All right? Right then. It's time for us to leave this segment and move to segment 4. So we'll catch you on the other side.
In the End Zone with the Entrepreneur.
Hi again, it's me, Donna Jodhan, and welcome to segment 4 of TakeAnother5. In the End Zone with the Entrepreneur, and that's me. I have been an entrepreneur since 1998, and I have watched with interest and fascination as this landscape has incurred so many changes since then to now. When I started out, the internet was just but a blip on the radar. Today, it is much, much, much more than a blip. It is actually or practically part of our daily lives. And when I started out, we used to do our advertising through business cards and printed brochures and flyers and by word of mouth. Today, we've got the internet, we've got social media, but we still also have our cards and our brochures and our flyers, but It's all a mishmash of everything, but social media does prevail and does rule the roost. So for this week, and we stress this, that even if you're not an entrepreneur, it does not hurt to listen to these tips, because you never know if you might choose to be an entrepreneur one day. Or maybe you know someone who is an entrepreneur or wants to become an entrepreneur. We hope that our tips help you, and we want to thank you for the feedback that we have gotten over the past few weeks that will help us to bring you tips that are more relevant to you. So we want to ask this question: who is right for entrepreneurship? The one who really wants to make a change in their lives, in their career, in lifestyle, in income, in traveling distances, in that you just want to be able not to travel distances and be caught in traffic dreadlock every day? Could it be the one who is dying to start new types of initiatives? It's for anyone who fits into any of these categories. And for the person who's simply tired of being someone else's gopher, or someone who wants to be their own boss. So if you ask the question again, who is right for entrepreneurship? It could be for either one of the reasons that we have just mentioned, or it could be for other reasons that we have not mentioned. But entrepreneurship is not limited to anyone. Entrepreneurship is for any and everyone. Right then, this is the end of our tip for this week, and the end of our segment in the End Zone with the Entrepreneur. And it's time for us to beetle along to segment 5 of Take Another 5. And we'll catch you on the other side.
Help us beat the bullies and the scams.
Hey, it's Donna Jodhan, and would you believe it? We are now at segment 5 of Take Another 5. I can't believe that we're almost at the end of our weekly podcast, but there you have it. I guess one is having fun as time moves on, or as that saying goes, time moves faster when you're having fun. And we hope that you are having lots of fun listening to our podcast, Take Another 5. So we're up to segment 5, staying ahead of bullies and scams. And we're going to start off by making you a bit more aware of a scam that is making the rounds at the present time. And it's all about when home renovators offer their services to you. They can either phone you, or they can send you flyers in your mail, or they can send you flyers in your mailbox. Okay? So they can do it again by phone. They can send you, via snail mail, as they call it, or bombard you through your email. Believe it or not, they offer great services, or you may think that they are, at terrific prices. Discounts abound like nothing. Completion times are unbelievable. This is what they offer. Terrific prices, completion times that are just out of this world. And the types of services that they offer. Most of them are either independent or small companies. Be very, very, very careful. Check them out. Better not to go with the independent contractor unless you are very happy with what you see and hear. Now, this may be a sort of a bum rap against the little guy, but these days one has to be extremely careful. You may want to go to the credit bureau or the independent business bureau to check these guys out. Don't hesitate to do it. And if at all your intuition tells you leave them alone, please just turn your back and run like heck for the hills. Okay, it's time for part 2 of segment 5, building awareness about bullying. History does indeed tell the story. If we take a minute to think about it, we will soon admit that bullying is nothing new. It has been with us for as long as we have been keeping records, so we may as well face it. True it is that it has become more of a problem today, and now it has reached unbearable proportions. So why have we allowed bullying to become much or so much of a dominant factor in our lives? Why do we continue to put up with it? Is it that we are just too lazy to care? Or maybe for as long as it does not affect us directly, we will continue to turn a blind eye until it actually does affect us? Truth be told, we should be ashamed of ourselves for doing so. And each time we spend money to purchase a game or a movie that contains any sort of violence, we are encouraging bullying. Yes, that's right. We are encouraging it each time we buy a game or a movie that is filled with violence and crime. It is time for us to take responsibility for prolonging bullying and for prolonging the lives of bullies. It's time for us to stop blaming others. We are the culprits, and now we need to start cleaning up our act by what we do, what we enjoy, and what we purchase. It is time for us to act before we ourselves become victims of bullying. How can you do this? Please, you can get a start by visiting my page on bullying. I have a campaign against bullying, and you can visit me at www.donnajodhan.com and go to my bullying page or my page on bullying. Please do it today before it gets too late and you become a victim of bullying. Right then, we're at the end of segment 5, but now it's time for our wrap-up, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Thank you for having taken another 5. We wish you a fantastic day.
Hey, it's Donna Jodhan, and it's time for our wrap-up to Take Another 5, which is our weekly podcast. Another week is in the books. I can't believe it, but that's it. That's how it is. And, well, before we leave you, we need to give you some more revelations for this week's mystery, Mistaken Identity. All 3 suspects had very strong motives. Zach knew how to pick a lock, as he had worked for his family's security company. Mickey also knew how to pick a lock, as he once worked as a security technician. Mickey would have wanted that hard drive because it had incriminating evidence against him. Brett would have wanted it as well, because he had wanted to learn about Jill's new business. Brett would have wanted the photos of Jill as well, because he thought that he could have used them in the future. Zach would also have wanted them as well, because of his obsession with Jill. So you see, each suspect, as you would say, had double motives for wanting to have killed Jill, and the facts speak for themselves. Please take these facts now, go away and think about, who do you think would have killed poor old Jill Hagman? Just relax, recharge, sit on your couch, lie on your couch, anything you want to do, and think about this. You know, this is what we call audio comfort food, where we concentrate on the solving of the mystery first and foremost. And these are must listens for you. All right, we want to wish you a great day, a better than terrific week, and we hope to see you back with us next week. Again, if you have any feedback, any questions, don't hesitate to write to us at info@sterlingcreations.ca. Follow us on Twitter at accessibleworld and at author_Jodhan. And you can like us on Facebook at author Donna Jodhan and Donna Jodhan. So folks, keep a song in your heart, may the winds be at your back, and we'll see you next week. Take care and bye for now.